Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterates his pledge while visiting Hungary to smash Iran's terror axis. U.S. President Donald Trump stresses his determination to negotiate with Iran directly. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan says Ankara does not seek a confrontation with Israel and Syria. Israel will smash the Iranian terror axis, which threatens not only Israel, but Europe and many of Israel's neighbors in the Middle East. During a joint press conference with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán in Budapest, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu initially praised his Hungarian counterpart for his steadfast support of the State of Israel, including versus the politicized International Criminal Court, or ICC, which produced arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, in blatant indifference to both the letter and spirit of the law, and in complete disregard to the fact that the State of Israel is not a signatory of the Rome Statute. Consequently, and in addition to an extensive list of legal discrepancies alleging both corruption and politicization of the ICC in recent years, Hungary decided to advance with its revocation of the Rome Statute.
Nekünk fontos. Én voltam az a miniszterelnök, aki aláírtam a Nemzetközi Büntetőbírósághoz való csatlakozási dokumentumot. Még 2000-ben. És a napokban én voltam az, aki aláírtam az onnan való kilépésről szóló dokumentumot. Mert Magyarország úgy döntött, a magyar kormány úgy döntött, hogy kilépünk onnan. Ennek az az oka, hogy meggyőződésünké vált, hogy ez egy politikai bírósággá alakult. Tehát az elmúlt években ez most már nem egy pártatlan, nem egy jogállami bíróság, hanem egy politikai bíróság.
You have, in your leadership, have done remarkable things for Israel and the Jewish people. You support Israel proudly, unstintingly. You stand with us at the EU, you stand with us at the UN, and you've just taken a bold and principled position on the ICC, and I thank you, Victor. This is not only important for us, it's important for all democracies. It's important to stand up to this corrupt organization that has equated a democracy that is challenged for its very existence by the most horrific terroristic powers on earth. But the ICC directs its actions against us, fighting a just war with just means, and of course not against our tormentors, not really. This is important for all of us, for all of civilization, as we fight this battle against barbarism. And you are the first, I dare to say, I don't think the last, but the first state that walks out of this this corruption and this rottenness. And I think it'll be deeply appreciated not only in Israel, but in many, many countries around the world.
Prime Minister Netanyahu went on to stress that Western civilization is under attack and pledged to unyieldingly persist in the war against the Iranian terror axis.
So that our Judeo-Christian civilization, Western civilization as we understand it, it's under assault right now for one powerful quarter, and that's radical Islam. Radical Islam in the Middle East is spearheaded by one country, and that's Iran. It has proxies, the three H's, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, and others. But the center, the pulsating engine is Iran. We were attacked by Iran's proxies in a murderous campaign by Hamas terrorists who raped our women, beheaded our men, burnt our babies, and took hostages. Were committed to bring back home all of them, including a hostage of Hungarian citizenship, Omri. We discussed this. We'll bring them back all home. But we will smash the Iranian axis, the Iranian terror axis, which threatens not only us, but Europe and many of our neighbors in the Middle East. We're committed to doing so, and by doing that, we are also protecting Europe. Maybe there are some in Europe who don't understand this, but Viktor Orban understands this. He understands this common battle for our values, for our interests, and for our common security.
Following their meeting, Prime Ministers Netanyahu and Orban held a joint phone conversation with U.S. President Donald Trump, during the course of which they informed the American leader of the Hungarian decision to withdraw from the International Criminal Court and the next steps that may be taken on this issue. Subsequently, during a press gaggle on the U.S. presidential aircraft Air Force One, U.S. President Donald Trump revealed that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu may be traveling to meet him in Washington next week.
I spoke to him today, as a matter of fact, and I think he's going to be coming to our country sometime in the not-too-distant future, maybe next week. And we'll speak about Israel, and we'll speak about what's going on. That's another thing we'd like to get solved, and I think we will get it solved. But I think he very well may be coming next month. Benjamin Netanyahu.
President Trump was further asked about the ongoing campaign against the Iranian proxy Ansar Allah, which is dominated by the Houthi tribe in Yemen.
We've done very well. We've had big success with the Houthis, as you probably know. Nobody's been able to do it like us. And they were shooting the boats out of the water. They were sinking ships. That's what they would do. They're getting a big charge out of sinking ships. And unfortunately, they're associated with Iran very closely. So they have to stop that. But we've hit them very hard, and we've been hitting them very hard.
While the U.S. military's Central Command continues its naval and aerial campaign to degrade the Houthis in Yemen, the United States military also continues to send additional military assets into the Middle East in a force buildup that seemingly signals a credible military threat versus the Islamic Republic of Iran. And while Tehran understands the power disparity between it and the United States, which in the event of a direct confrontation could bring about the collapse of its Islamic Ayatollah regime, it persistently rejects President Trump's demand for direct negotiations. The American leader insists, however, that Iran is changing its tone for fear of a military confrontation.
I think it's better if we have direct talks. I think it goes faster and you understand the other side a lot better than if you go through intermediaries. They wanted to use intermediaries. I don't think that's necessarily true anymore. I think they're concerned. I think they feel vulnerable, and I don't want them to feel that way. And I think they want to meet.
Turning to Brussels, where Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, in an exclusive interview to the London-based Reuters news agency on the sidelines of NATO's foreign ministerial, insists that Iran is keen on reaching a peaceful solution to its nuclear program.
Well, the last thing that we want to see in our region, another war, especially on Iran, because we know very well that the Iranians are in favor of addressing this issue in a peaceful manner, a peaceful way. And many times when I interact with my Iranian interlocutors, they all say the same thing. So we need to give a chance the intensive diplomacy.
Ankara's top diplomat further addressed the latest escalating tensions between Turkey and Israel after Syrian bases were completely destroyed, including 3 major bases by Israel in response to a Turkish attempt to seize the installations in Syria proper.
Well, first of all, we don't want to see any confrontation with Israel in Syria, because Syria belongs to Syrians. Syria doesn't belong to Turkey. Syria doesn't belong to Israel. We cannot talk on behalf of the Syrians. The Syrian security should be decided by the Syrians. If they want to partner with certain countries, with certain international companies, they're welcome. If they want to have a certain understanding with the Israelis, it's their business.
Minister Fidan went on to claim that Israel's actions, which essentially destroy also much of the strategic military capabilities of the former Assad regime, was unfortunate, since it prevents the jihadist elements in Damascus, which formerly operated under Al-Qaeda's banner, from confronting the Islamic State and other terrorists.
And unfortunately, Israel is taking one by one out all these capabilities that a new state can use against ISIS and other terrorist threats. So basically what Israel is doing in Syria is not only threatening the security of Syria, but also is paving the way for future instability of the region. I don't think that it is good for Israel's future in the region.
It is important to know that Turkey does not regard HDS, the Islamist Hamas, or other Islamist groups as terrorist organizations, in contrast to Western countries and even the United Nations, and regularly deplores Israel's counter-terror activities directed against them. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to thank TV7's family of viewers once again, who are instrumental in proactively backing TV7 Israel's continuity of productions. Keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom u'Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.